Okay, let's make sure everything's working. Oh, hey, Zal. Hello. And what is with the chat box and always being weird? Honestly, I haven't gone through the settings for it yet. I do have it. As I was setting up stream, I remembered. So I put it on a sticky note on my monitor so that when stream is over, I can remember to try to fix the dadgum chat box. It's been broken for far too long. Nope, music's a little quiet. Let me... And that does not seem to be helping, does it? Am I? That's weird. Huh. The audio bar does not seem to be changing. I've turned the gain up, but hold on, I'm gonna mute it on your guys' end just so I don't deafen you, because I'm... Okay, there we go. It is working. It's just not enough, I guess. I don't know why it's so quiet. There you go. That's hitting around where we usually want. Fantastic. Okay. Now I'm gonna pop out the YouTube chat so that I may keep an eye on that as well. There we go. All right. Ugh. Yeah, I don't do much for April Fool's stuff, if anybody's wondering. The extent of what you're getting is my crap baskets model. We got work to do, so we can't be goofing off too much. Today will be the first day that we get to try out the new changes we made last week. I'm kind of excited and nervous to see if it actually works. It worked during the experimentation stream, so here's hoping for the best. There may be another surprise compilation this month. I say maybe because I don't know if I'll have it ready by this month, just because I don't know where the exact clips I'm looking for are located in a collection of like 10 plus VODs, so I'm having to watch all of the VODs to find the clips that I'm looking for. So it's roughly 3 to 5 hours per VOD. I am watching them at sometimes watching them at double speed. Just to, you know, try to get the footage faster. Because as fun as the VODs are to watch, I kind of want to get the project done quickly. So, and double speed is as fast as anything will go. So I'm hoping to have it ready by this month. If not, it'll be for next month. But either way, luckily it is spring break, so, and since I work at a school, it means I also do not have work over spring break, so I have time to spend looking through all those VODs. Okay. I'm needing to get used to a new height on my chair. I had to remove my cushion because I found out that my cushion was actually not acting as a cushion, but more as a screw up your life device. I thought I was forming a bad habit with my sitting posture or something due to some problems I've been having, which has been limiting my ability to do editing a lot. It's been difficult. No, just turns out I removed the cushion and things started getting better. What are the odds, right? So much for it being a design that's supposed to help prevent such problems from occurring, but whatever. Why did I do that? Actually, I don't even need to do that. The rest of these, I did it on one, that's all I need. Then I can just copy and paste from there. My mic been picking up a lot of my keyboard noises and whatnot. I wonder if it got turned up. It has been bumping against my monitor a bit. The age-old problem. You know, funny enough, when I first saw the title of this clip, I did not read the words Chibi Vivi, which is in the title, Chibi Vivi. I read Chibi. Yo, that's an old reference now, which is so weird to think about. That's an old reference. Inside joke with Vivi community. I don't know if it's brought up all that often. There is one video that's going to be a bit interesting this time around. It's not in this batch, it's in the next one. But basically there was a clip that was kind of missing a good chunk of the moment that was being clipped. It hit the 60-second maximum on the clip, but there was still some stuff left off. So I went and screen captured the whole thing. So I have the two versions of that clip in here, and I'm debating whether or not to use the extended version and maybe start making that a little bit of a thing. So instead of just downloading whatever clips are on Twitch and going with that. Focusing a bit more on the content itself that was being clipped and trying to help elevate that. I need to remember to go in here and just shrink all of this down so that I don't accidentally start messing with the audio levels. I already kind of tried to not just grab whatever the clips are and go with that. I watched through all of them, which is why it took me all day yesterday to do. It always takes me like all day to get that stuff done. But I watched through all the clips, and I look for certain things. One, I don't really do audio editing on stream anymore, so I don't have to avoid this problem, but it used to be, number one, I would look for clips that might be slightly problematic on Twitch. Because, funny enough, some streamers get away with it, and some don't. But anyway, not really. Well, okay, I guess that's not really what I should be saying. It's more like stuff that I feel comfortable having on my stream. It's a personal thing, not a Twitch thing. But sometimes it can be a Twitch thing. Just very rarely. That's not really an issue anymore. I don't do audio editing on stream, so it's a moot point. Anyway, mainly I look for if there's repeat clips, because that oftentimes, especially with larger audience, the larger the audience, people might end up clipping the same thing as somebody else multiple times, and they get sometimes two or more of those clips will make it into the top 10. If those clips tell segments of a story, I'll leave them in. And maybe add a little caveat to the names, like part 1 or part 2, you know, stuff like that. Although maybe I might start changing that to go with this other idea. Anyway, so I look for clips that are copies of one another. I look for clips that might have been made by accident, or just don't really, like, if the clip doesn't have a title and it doesn't really cover anything in the stream that seems all that interesting, it's fairly safe to assume that maybe it was clipped by accident or just whatever. So I'm thinking that maybe along with the grabbing the extended context of some of the clips, maybe I could start grabbing some of the clips that cover the same moment, even if it's different parts of that moment, and just kind of mesh them together into a singular clip. and put both clip the names of both clippers if there's more than one in the text. I would need to make some changes to the text box to be able to fit that, but I don't think that's a big deal. Or maybe I just make a separate text box for multi-clipper moments. That would probably be more efficient. Let's start. The idea is basically to start putting a little more. What in the world? Must have gotten distracted. The idea is to put more emphasis on the content of the videos, not so much just grabbing the top 10 clips, you know? As I've mentioned before, and as last week's stream exemplified, I always try to look for little ways to improve these videos. You know, the whole saying of not resting on your laurels and all that. I don't want these videos to become too stagnant, repetitive, and inevitably lazy. So I try to find little things to change, to keep improving. In fact, I think there might be a clip or two in here that covered the same topic, but cover different portions of it enough that I left both versions in. Don't remember which one it is. It might be Sylvie's, it might be another one. I don't remember. I watched a lot of clips and VODs yesterday, so parts of it are kind of muddled together. There's like over 120 clips and about 6 hours of VODs. So yeah, some of the content just kind of blended together in my brain. I realized that while going through the picker wheel yesterday, or the day before, Was it yesterday? Yeah, either way. I noticed that there are a few names that I haven't landed on in a while. So I think what I'm gonna do is next for April's clips, I think I'm going to focus on doing the random picker wheel, but also try to keep in mind some of the names that I haven't landed, that the wheel hasn't landed on in a while, and maybe pick some of those names to purposely put into the videos. All right. What am I doing? Need to... There we go. Oh, wait. Oh, no, it's fine. Now, this should all be set by default to these presets, but just in case. There we go. I never finished making the one for soy milk. That's alright, we can do that now. Okay. And it's been long enough that I don't remember how I went about doing this. I want to say it's as simple as just grabbing this, but it's been a week, so obviously my incredibly limited brain has already gone and forgotten. Let's just give it a try and see what happens. See if I remember correctly. Okay, yeah, that seems to have worked. Okay. so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna work with it like this. Oh, I forgot to grab. Need to grab all three. Yeah, I need to grab all three. Is what I need to do. Is I need to change all of the stuff to match. Should have done a bit more experimenting with this. I'm starting to realize there's some minor issues. For example, I can't change any of the text, which is a problem. Oh, wait, never mind. There we go. That work? What? Oh. That's interesting. Where is the rest coming from? That's my question. Okay, here we go. So here's a thought. Okay, cool. There we go. Solve the problem. All right. So, experimentation pays off. So basically, what's going on is that when I drag this preset over, it creates a new layer of text in that exact placement. However, that overrides the text that already is supposed to exist. So I need to go in. So I need in here for it to be hidden so that you don't see it there, so that you can go here and erase this and to turn it whatever it needs to be. We may need to do further experimentation as things go along. For example, text size. We may need to change the size of the text, because what we've got now might not work. What I should do is, from here on out, I need these to be on a higher layer so that I am able to just mass select them like this and do that. Okay, let's try some experimentation here. There's a problem. It makes it so it's no longer centered. How do I fix this? I guess that's easy enough. Hold shift to move it over. Not a big deal then. I was worried it was gonna be a big problem. We seem to be fine. Let's keep going. This is what I was talking about. The problem we're going to run into. It's too big. It won't fit within the text box. Can do that. Now, obviously, the simplest thing to do would be to just make it smaller. Problem with making it smaller in that way is that it messes with this stuff. Oh, here we go. We can play with it in here. But there's a limitation to what we can do there, because, for example, here we go. Same video, clip 7. You're starting to see the problem here. This is very small. $44 is the biggest we can make this without it going off, you know, off the background. It's way too small. So I don't think changing the size is the solution we're looking for. That's problematic. This new idea is coming with a lot more problems than solutions, sadly enough. One of the problems is that it's not this stuff isn't centering on the mat, it's centering on other text, which is not what we want. We want it centering on the background, not the other text. Oh, man. I don't know what to do about this one. Oh, that's kind of funky. Idea. I just had an idea. Hold on. Why is this chugging so bad? Holy crap. Well, maybe I need to close Photoshop. It's going too fast. It needs to go slower. Alright, let's try something else. Go back here. I think having it as a nested sequence is not going to work. I think that's a big problem, and we're probably gonna have to scrap that idea. So let's try something else. Alright. Now, I don't believe I have anything in here for... Yeah, the title stuff is somewhat new, so I don't have it set up for a lot of things. Alright. Okay. Now let's try another experiment. Let's see what happens. Yeah. Fascinating. Ugh. I think this is a good idea, but it's causing more problems than solutions. For example, I'm starting to remember why I did not have a background to the text to begin with. I'm starting to remember why. Oh boy. Flip titles are sometimes just too long. That's just how it goes. All right, here's a thought. So what I'm going to do what? Oh crap. Hmm. This is why I hate working with nested sequences. Hmm. This is causing me nothing but headaches and grief. Oh, okay. Why is it always 0.7? This is proving to be a major headache. I've suddenly been reminded why things are the way they are. I think ultimately last week's endeavors are proving to be utterly worthless in practice. It was a fun experiment, but clearly not going to work. Because there are too many variables that I have zero control over. I say too many. One variable I have no control over is too many for this to work. For us, the variable that I have no control over is the length of clip titles. I can't control that. I also can't control the people's names, so their name could extend past the area we want. So it's not going well. As we've just learned, all of the work that was done. Oh no. Oh no. What is happening? Yeah, it's not going well at all. It's actually going extremely, extremely poorly. This is about as bad as it could be. Everything is falling apart. To put it simply, what is happening is that Premiere is telling me that all of the work that I did last week was for naught. It was all completely worthless. Okay. So whatever bug that was is fixed. But here's our problem. First of all, I created this centered like this, which is the stupidest thing I could have done. The stupidest thing. It needs to be more like this. Like like this. It needs to be like this. Not this. So that's problem number 1. Problem number 2, clip titles are way too long. So trying to fit them into this little box is not gonna happen. Ever. So basically what's gonna happen now is I'm gonna have to take everything that I worked on last week and throw it in the garbage, because every last bit of it cannot be used. For multiple reasons. Obviously, I just went over the text box and text placements and the title length, but there's another problem. That being that if I go in here and I say I need to change this to Mako's colors. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. This one. We'll change it to Tomoe's colors. There you go. See, like that? I was like, oh look, there you go. And then you just go in here and try to change the title. Look what's behind it. The original text in here still exists. So yeah, that's a problem. Now I did solve that problem, sort of, by just doing this. But that's a lot of work. Just doing it all to work is a big hassle and is a pain. So I think we're going to have to take all of that and just trash it. Every last bit of it is not usable. It is all garbage. Which really sucks. That's about 3 hours of work that has just gone completely down the drain. Okay, so starting from scratch, we have the original fade in, fade out. While there is nothing wrong with this in general, I do want to make some changes to it. For example, that is one change that I want to make. They're too close together for certain letters. But there's also the visibility problem. They're not always super visible. I don't know what to do about that because oh, hold on. Um, I think we'll keep this stuff for now. I might be able to find a way to salvage something out of it. I don't know. But for right now, those presets are, well, worthless. Well, I think I've come to one very simple conclusion. I cannot change the text much. I can't. That simple reason being that the variables that I have no control over cause too many errors. Clip length, title length, name length, stuff like that just makes it so I cannot do fancy, fun stuff with this. I have to keep it very simple. Because if I don't, there will be problems. A phenomenal example of this is let's see, right here. The title of this clip that we're currently on is This Long. That long. That doesn't exactly make it viable for a lot of stuff. Which means that the simple fade in, fade out is as good as it gets. Because if I try anything else, then you run into problems. Now we could maybe try some other stuff. Yeah, they're very nice. It's the film impact stuff that Adobe recently bought. Doesn't always work on the freaking, you know. I still want to try to have a little fun with these to make it a little more special, but we may be limited in what we can do with that. the dissolve is already what we had, just with fewer steps. Yeah, I don't think any of that is going to change much. The dissolve is pretty straightforward. The neon wipe could work. Yeah, I think we could use the neon wipe. What if I were to make the intro one a bit shorter, but the outro one stays the regular length? Mm. Eh. Eh. Blow didn't do squat. Light Lake doesn't really do a lot. I could mess with it, but I already know what radial blur does. Turns out I'd already been messing with this before. I wish I'd gone back and looked at this before I started experimenting, because then I would have realized, oh yeah, I tried this already, and it failed utterly. I wouldn't have tried anymore. Oh well, so it goes. Now we could try messing with it even more. I like its default animation, but for example, we could try changing the color. For whatever reason, it is not copying over. Wonder why that is. Oh, there we go. So that could work.
What am I meant?
Should I add? I mean, the answer is probably no, but I wonder if I should add a very soft sound effect to it. I would have to look around for a sound effect, but it is possible. My computer froze for a second there. We seem to be okay. Everything seems fine. It doesn't look like the stream crashed. At least I don't think. Okay. YouTube looks okay. Twitch looks okay. There's the... What was that? Alright, it looks all right. All right, we'll keep going. So I think what I'll do this time around is we'll just keep with the usual. And then we'll do another experiment stream later. Real quick, I'm just gonna make this change permanent. There we go. I want the positioning to be like this permanently. At least for now. Alright. I don't watch enough Matara streams to know, is this like her new model? Does she go back to the other model? Because in all of the clips for this month, she just used this model. So I don't know if it's like just a new outfit or a new style. She's going to go back to the other model. I don't know. So for now, I think we'll work out the colors, and we're gonna give it a very specific name, just in case she goes back to her other model. Then if I roll her again on the wheel a few months from now, and she's back to the previous model, then we can just go through the process again and name it something different. Ooh, that color works really well. Should we try to go for something a little bit darker on this part? The difference isn't much, but I do think it does make an impact. So we'll save the regular Matara name in case, she does go back, as I was talking about before. Sylvie's another example of this. She's gone through a few different model variations since I last did a compilation with her. This is her current one. Previously we had this one with the demon theme or something. There's also this. It's the same model but different outfits. I think this is what we'll base the color stuff on because it's got the most variety of colors. It's pretty much just the same color in different shades and hues and whatnot. Not exactly a lot to go off of there. Okay. So this should probably just be white. Go with the darker color there, or maybe this one up here. Right there, we'll go with that one. And maybe not. Um, I don't think that's too bad. Maybe go with something a little darker. The outside, it's too dark. Yeah, I think the previous one's better. Go with that. This will be our default for Sylvie, and then we can make changes to it as the model changes. If we need to. I don't know if she'll go back to some of the other models at some point. Probably not. I don't know. There's just no telling. Vtubers like to mix it up a lot and they don't typically go back. Most VTubers, I go back all the time. I'm doing it right now. I'm back on my original model, which I do plan to update, or hope to update sometime one of these days. You know, gotta just work out budget stuff for that. That's weird. I wonder why that happened. Let's just try again and see if it keeps happening. I don't know why the text moved over to the left. It's definitely not supposed to happen. Okay, yeah, it didn't happen then. So honestly, I don't know what happened there. That was weird. Not supposed to be something that occurs. Can you tell I was trying really hard not to say the word happen again? Said it like 3 times in a row. What's going on? Don't know what the deal was with that, but whatever. And a lot of messages all of a sudden. Crap. We are back on track with our usual pace and whatnot. Feels good to be back at a nice calm grind. I've been really glad that people have not gotten mad at me about some of the VTubers that are on the list for these videos. Because I know there are some VTubers that get into different drama, this, that, or the other with some of their choices in content style or model appearance and stuff like that. I know there's been a lot of back and forth on drama on all sorts of those things over the years. Some of it's happening currently in large amounts, some of it used to happen and just kind of quieted down since then. But I just kind of go for just a wide variety of VTubers. I don't really give a crap much what their content style is and stuff like that. So just kind of got a variety of VTubers that fit all shapes, sizes, and styles. And thankfully people so far have not been too upset. Which is nice. Now, to be fair, part of that is likely because I don't get a a large reach with my channel, so maybe that's part of it. Haven't reached the crazies yet. Maybe that'll change one day. Who knows? There are always pros and cons to every situation. I couldn't find that any of the clips from Sylvie were done using a clip command, like, you know, the exclamation mark clip stuff that some VTubers have. I couldn't find any of that, so I'm just assuming these were all clipped by Sylvie. I have no idea. Or at least all but the last one. Somehow I got myself confused. Oh, maybe that's what it is. I didn't go far enough. So I was doing it right, just if I'd been one clip over. That's what it was. probably gonna have to call the stream once we're done with this part of it. Got Atara and Soy Milk's videos left to finish the titles on. Need to get food, and I'm trying to spend less time on this chair at my desk for my health. It's been really sad because I've had ideas for a video to make. I've been needing to do editing for these and for Muna and other projects and whatnot. Just haven't been able to spend much time at my desk because just need to preserve my health. Maybe I should look into finding a desk that can switch between being a standing and a sitting desk and see if I could work with that. I'm limited in space, so it'd have to be a very small desk. Not to mention, it'd be hard to move the chair. Not a lot of room to move it, but still. It could be an option. Okay. There's still a couple things to do, like getting the chapters written down and whatnot, but it's been almost 3 hours, but I can feel my body fighting me, so I might need to call it here. Oh, hey! Soy Milk is streaming. definitely do that. All right. Well, it is spring break, so maybe I could. But I don't know. I won't make any promises. But we've got some stuff for another experimentation stream, since our attempts to change the tech stuff did not work this last time. Maybe try some new stuff. Yeah. Soy Milk is having a special event, something or other. So we'll go see what that's about. But thank you everybody that came by. I appreciate it as always. And so next week should be either an experimentation stream or another editing days for the second batch stream. Either or. Either way, we'll do more video editing next week. Till then, hope you all have a good one, and I hope to see you all again another time. Bye-bye.